Hey, it's your girl Evelyn here, and I'm back with this week's next installment of the Side Hustle series. So the last time we had chatted, the last time we had talked, the last time we had conversed and what have you, we talked about 100 reasons you needed to know on why you were going and having a side hustle. Okay, that if you did not know these things, or if you did not want to take the time to figure these things out, maybe it wasn't a good time, maybe you're not ready, maybe you're not serious, maybe you're not about that life. I'm just joking. Or maybe you just had never thought about it, right? So interestingly enough, I did find my 100 Whys sheet. I thought I'd had it with me for this video, but I don't. Again, hashtag be prepared. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Anyway, but we talked about going through that sheet. There are no right or wrong answers. Filling it out. I actually did reach 100. Can you believe it? When I found it. And then once you complete it, and it may take a couple of days, right? Like you may have to do it one day, leave it for a day to come back, add some more things as you really think about it. Okay, meditate on it, pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that you might have motivated you 10 years may not motivate you anymore. Maybe you've got some new motivations on why you want to have a side hustle. But fill that out, and then when you're done filling it out and you think you've filled out as much as you can, go through, scratch out anything that is a direct benefit to you. And then what's left is your why. Everything that's a direct benefit to you is a side effect. You know, like those commercials where they have prescription drugs, and it's like, let's say you have sinuses, okay, and they're like, hey, you know, it's going to relieve pressure and headaches and runny nose and blah 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 and all these wonderful things, right? And then it goes, but may cause suicidal thoughts, decrease sex drive, blah 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 blah. The side effects. The difference here is when you are offering something of value, the side effects are benefits to you. Okay, so that brings me to this week's video. It's going to sound similar, but I promise you it's different, right? And so the difference is simply this. You have to give your side hustle, your business, your venture a purpose. So we talked about why you want to do it, right? And that has more to do with, like, you want to help people. You know, you want to put your kids through college. You want to get your family out of poverty. You want to whatever the reason. There's no right or wrong answers, right? And some of your purpose and some of your whys may overlap. Okay, they may overlap. So what I mean when I'm talking about giving your side hustle, your business, your venture, whatever you're doing, a purpose is, what is the value that the people on the receiving end are going to get by you putting this thing out there, right? So, you know, what's in it for them? What's the with them? What are they going to get? What's the value? What's the unique proposition? Okay, so you have to be able to communicate the purpose of your side hustle, of your business, right? So some of you left a comment about what you think my purpose is or whatever. Here's the thing, right? I do this, particularly these videos, so not just the Chef Evelyn, my Chef Evelyn brand, but let's talk particularly to this channel. I do this because I don't want people wasting their life away, women in particular, wasting their life away in a job that they hate, to the point that they get so stressed that they get sick and have a poor quality of life. That's why I do these videos. Okay, so that's my why. Now, when it talks about what's the purpose of your business, your side hustle, or whatever, you have to figure out what that is. What is the person going to gain by using your service or products? Because let's be clear, people only exchange value for value, right? That is what a sale is. And a lot of people feel really uncomfortable about sales conversations or about the money part, but that has to be had, because all that is an exchange of value. I'm going to offer you something of value, and in turn you're going to exchange value. Okay, so if you have a service or a product or something that you're offering that's not selling, one of a couple of things may be happening. Number one, the value cannot be there to people, right? it's just not there, right? Just because you think it's cool doesn't mean that it's valuable. There's a lot of cool things out there, but they're not necessarily valuable, right? Or what you have to sell, or your product or your service or whatever you're doing is valuable, but you're not communicating that value clearly. What is the purpose? What's the end result? Like, let me tell you, I've gone to different workshops and seminars and classes online and in person. And the ones that can clearly communicate the value that they're conveying, and it's something that I want or need, it's an easy sale, particularly if I have the money. There have been things, even free stuff, that if I don't know what I'm going to get, I don't know what the value is, it's not even worth the value exchange of my time. Right? So here's the thing, because people only give their value of their money, their coins, they dollar bills, they hard earned cash for two things: things they want and things they need. Get this in your head: things they want and things they need. And let me just be clear: wants and needs, not nice to haves, would be cool someday, that comes later down the line, which is why those things sometimes are pricier, right? So when you think about luxury, the reason why the price is higher, one, is because they're really, really nice to haves, they're really, really crafted, or the service is really, really premium, and they're not a need. Right? So they know they're going to move fewer of those than something that's a need, like food. Okay. So anyway, I said all that to say people will exchange their value, their money, their coin, their resources, their time, their email address, their investment into your videos, your service, your products, or whatever, when they perceive value to them, what's in it for them. Okay. If you cannot communicate that value, if they can't see it, and you have to remember, people have a short attention span. I don't know how y'all be rocking with this. Is probably why my videos don't get a lot of views, because they're long, but I'm trying to give you value. Okay. So basically, I'm pretty much beating a dead horse here. That's all this video is about this week. Is you need to be able to clearly communicate the value that you offer, so you know why you're doing what you're doing. And the reason I want you to know why is because when it gets to those times where it's not fun and it's not as glamorous as people on Instagram make it seem, and it's not as glamorous as people with all their email newsletters and workshops and all that make it seem, you'll keep going because you understand that it's bigger than you, and anything that you get is a side effect of offering tremendous value. Okay? Wealth is a sign that I offered tremendous value in some shape or form. It's pretty much simple, right? If you are not offering something of value, then you're not getting value. Okay? So think about what in your business, your side hustle, if your products, your services, or whatever, think about what's doing really, really well. Think about what's not doing really, really well. And that could be a component of it. It's not always the right reason. There's price, there's target market, there's all that kind of stuff or whatever that we're going to talk about later, right? But ask yourself, am I giving people something they want or need? Right? Am I giving people something they want or need? And do you know how to give people what they want or need? You ask them. Just like I asked y'all. I said my channel was changing. What do y'all want to talk about? Y'all said y'all want to talk about side hustles. We're talking about side hustles. Because it's not about me. It's about y'all. Right? The reason why you came back and watched this video, the reason why you're still watching, even though I'm talking for however many minutes, is because I'm trying. I hope that I'm giving you something of value. So you need to be able to write down, clearly communicate what it is that you're offering and what is the result, the value that is going to be given to the person. And let me say this, when I say value that's going to be given to the person, I'm not necessarily talking about something that's necessarily numerically quantifiable. Okay? It doesn't always have to be numerically quantifiable. It doesn't have to be if you sign up to be a personal trainer with me, you're going to lose 10 pounds in 1 month. It doesn't necessarily have to be that quantifiable. It could be something like you have increased confidence in yourself, so that you can ace any job interview. Let's say if you were a corporate career coach, or you will be prepared for any kind of question that comes your way during a job interview. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be numerically quantifiable. Or data to support it is great if you have a business model that works that way, but it's not necessary, right? So anyway, because here's the thing, there are people out there who exchange a lot of value in motivation, because their motivation is really, really valuable. And if you're watching, you know who you are. If you offer motivation, that is your value. That is why people watch you. That is why people want to hear what you have to say, because the value is so strong. And let me say this. If you know that you are offering significant value, you can charge a higher price, right? That's a whole separate video. But anyway, I just want to say, give your side hustle a purpose. You know why you're doing it, so that you'll stick to it during the hard times. And then you have to give something of value, product, service, whatever, right? Something of value. So as we kind of did in the last video, I'm going to leave you with some brands that are doing fairly well, and see if you can figure out what value they're offering. Okay, and I'm gonna loop these three together that I'm about to mention, but H&M, Zara, and Forever 21. What value do you think that they're offering? Okay, what about the Salvation Army or the Goodwill? What value do you think they're offering? Okay, what about Lowe's and Home Depot? What's their value that they're offering? What about Sam's Club and what's the other one? Costco. What value are they offering? What about Sephora and Ulta? What value are they offering? Think about it, right? One of the best lessons I learned from a business mentor that my mother had, who indirectly on a small scale became my business mentor from a distance, right, is she said, you have to watch how people sell to you and market to you. I've learned more about business watching how businesses that I purchase from sell and market to me than any other class that I've taken. No, I won't say that. I've learned a lot though. I've learned a lot. You hear me? So anyway, I said all that today. I'm trying to keep it short today. And forgive me if I keep looking in the viewfinder, because I recorded 4 videos not too long ago, and 3 of them were completely out of focus the entire time. So I said all that to say, what's the purpose? The value is in the purpose. Communicate that well. And don't assume that just because you like it, everybody likes it. All right, y'all. Leave any questions you have down below. If you have not signed up for the email list where I'm going to be sending out little supplemental materials and things like that as we go through this series, please click the link below and just enter in your email address and your first name, and you will be added to the list. And I'll always send an email out when there's a new video. That way, you know, you'll just have it in your email. And leave your questions below. Let me know what your purpose, the purpose of your business is. And if you don't have a side hustle yet, that means you're in a really, really good position, because you won't waste a lot of time and money and energy offering things that nobody wants to buy. I have done it. I have literally made up stuff and done stuff that did not sell not one item, because the headspace that I was in at the time was like, ooh, this will make me some money, not, ooh, this will be cool and valuable to the people on the receiving end. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was valuable. I hope it was worth the investment of your time and your eyes and your watching and your listening ears and all that wonderful kind of stuff. And yeah, y'all, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.